Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Mallory Wigman, and I am proposing a 12-week skills group for homeless individuals. This 12-week life skills group is designed to help homeless adults find and maintain safe, stable, and affordable housing. Demographics. This group is designed to be for adults with no permanent address, whether or not they are currently living in shelters, in transitional housing, sober living, quote unquote couch surfing, and want more long term permanent housing help. Why is this group needed? Many existing programs do offer emergency shelters or case management, but don't always teach how to search for housing themselves, advocate with landlords, or manage a budget. Other issues that made me want to design this group are systemic barriers that might include discrimination by landlords, individuals who have poor credit history, past evictions, criminal records, discrimination due to use of housing vouchers, stigma related to homelessness or substance use. Many places have gaps in public assistance programs, transportation barriers, limited employment opportunities, thus limited income, and then other systemic racism and historical disinvestment. So, policies like redlining and urban renewal projects have historically displaced Black, Indigenous, and other communities of color, contributing to present day housing disparities. Program structure. So, as I stated, this is a 12-week course. Each week is going to be focused on a different topic, not necessarily in any particular order, because I think that the 12-week course can be repeated and cycled over depending on availability of social workers to teach the skills. So, self advocacy, like communicating with landlords and service providers, housing options, understanding your local area, what might be available, the differences between Section 8, Section 42, HUD, private rentals, etc. Also, going over tenant rights. A lot of people don't know the rights that they have as a tenant, and so discussing leases and fair housing laws and how to avoid eviction. I also want to discuss budgeting, managing income, or finding resources for help with security deposits, housing application fees, as well as moving costs, which I think a lot of people don't think about. Other weeks might discuss research skills, where to look, how to use the online housing tools, what agencies might have a better rate of renting to people, community resources, rental assistance and support programs for housing related needs, and building support networks. So, connecting clients with mentors, case managers, or other community support programs. Ultimately, there are four main goals of my group. That is going to be to secure safe, stable, and affordable housing for long term, develop practical financial skills to manage income and plan for housing related expenses and reduce financial instability, increase confidence and self advocacy, to advocate for needs and barriers with service providers, landlords, and support systems to enable more independent and empowered decision making. And lastly, to build a sustainable network. Graduates of the program will be connected to ongoing community resources to help maintain the housing and continue working towards long term stability. Context. So, the life skills group informed by Zastrow and Hessenauer focus on long-term self-sufficiency rather than short-term fixes. As stated previously, many existing programs offer emergency shelters or emergency case management, but not long-term solutions and not actually teaching the skills necessary for stability moving forward. Also, the group format. This is going to really help with peer support, mutual learning, and emotional validation in a supportive and non-judgmental space of like-minded people. At the macro level, my goal is to show how homelessness is not just an individual problem, but rooted in broader systems. So things like redlining, discriminatory housing practices, deinstitutionalization, affordable housing crisis, and stigma related to homelessness, substance use, mental illness, being low income in general. Historical redlining policies excluded communities of color from home ownership and long-term housing stability. Rising rent prices, stagnant wages, and long wait lists for subsidized housing has created a gap between income and housing availability. So that's looking at the macro practice level. At the meso level, the goal here is to highlight challenges that homeless individuals face in navigating local systems and services. So there are underfunded services. Talk about long waiting lists, limited shelter beds, or staff shortages in housing programs, as well as transportation and healthcare access. A lack of reliable transit or untreated health issues, whether that be physical or mental health, can prevent individuals from attending housing appointments or following up on leads. Family estrangement and childcare needs. So many individuals have no family safety net or are juggling parental responsibilities without stable support, which adds another layer of difficulty. Childcare costs, period, is also becoming an issue. So they can either, I've heard of clients deciding between affording rent this month or affording childcare for their children. Lastly, looking at the expected impact and outcomes of this group, the goal really is to improve housing search and communication confidence. I would hope clients would have a better financial management and use of support systems, increase ability to secure and maintain stable housing, emphasis on the maintaining the housing too, and the long-term goal is to break the cycle of homelessness. Looking at the evidence-based relevance, this group is grounded in research theory. So studies like Gabrielian show that client confidence and practical housing knowledge are key predictors of successful transitions to permanent housing. This group design is measurable and replicable. Zastrow and Hessenauer support the use of structured, skill-based groups as a way to promote self-sufficient and empowerment, particularly with vulnerable populations. The structure of the 12-week group allows for clear goals and outcomes, making it easier to evaluate and adapt. The support accountability and a key component of evidence-based practice. The group reflects core competencies in social work, which include person in environment perspective, empowerment, and strengths-based practice. I want to play on the strengths each client has and allow them to practice the skills. And I'm supporting client self-determination, a key ethical standard, by teaching skills that help participants advocate for their own housing needs and finances. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I would love to hear from everybody, and thank you so much for having me.